Oh, Elon. Just a couple of days ago was singing his praises about how well he handled the very tough Consumer Reports article, and he committed to fixing an issue. He went back on Twitter, did another session, and broke my heart. We're going to talk about that. Meanwhile, there are a lot of good news coming out of Tesla this week, and particularly today, there is a good Tesla Model 3 news, Tesla Model Y news, Tesla semi-truck news. We're going to talk about it all. I'm not even sure if we're going to get to the comment of the day. There's so many things to talk about. So let's get going right now.
Taking over the world, electrifying the world, electric.
If you're watching me live on Patreon, thank you so much for supporting the show. If you want to do that, patreon.com/E4Electric. You get to watch me live, comment, and many other benefits. If you're watching me in a replay on YouTube, welcome as well. Please don't forget to click on that subscribe button so you don't miss anything moving forward. And a quick reminder, as you can see, I got some exciting guests coming up. Michael Persky, the Automobili Pininfarina CEO, then Chad Balch. We're going to talk about some Chevy Bolt stuff. And a new guest that I've added to the lineup, Patrick George, editor-in-chief of Jalopnik.com, kind of a controversial publication in Tesla community, but nevertheless, we're going to compare notes and see what his opinion is on a few issues. So I'm excited to have him over here in a few weeks, and I'm working on other guests that I think you guys will like. All right, so a couple of days ago, Consumer Reports came up with a report. I guess that's what they do for consumers. Stating that there's some issues with the Model 3, and the biggest one was, of course, a safety issue of a stopping distance of the Model 3 that they tested. It was so long, it was even longer than the Ford F-150. Now, Elon got on Twitter, started replying, and to my surprise, his replies were very responsive and very responsible. He acknowledged the issue. Apparently, he had a phone call with Consumer Reports that day, as they reported in their video, trying to figure it out and really thanking them for finding this issue. He is committed to fixing it as early as this weekend with an over-the-air update. So I was very happy with that. And then he went back today on Twitter and broke it again. He was replying to an article about some issues at the factory with the workers, or some of the problems there. There's been kind of an ongoing thing, and he kind of ended up snapping a little bit. So this is one of many tweets he sent out over and over and over again. He basically started accusing media once again about all the kind of reporting that they do against Tesla. Of course, he got compared to Trump because, let's face it, if you're accusing of, all media of fake news and everything, you're going to get compared to Trump. And I'm sure that's not something that Elon is going for. And he obviously acknowledged it here. But then, guess who replied to that agreeing with him? Donald Trump Jr. And I'm sure that's not a guy you wanted in your court, especially when you're trying not to be like Donald Trump as far as, media reports. Now, by the way, love it or hate it, Donald Trump gets a lot of heat for accusing media of fake news and everything, because this is something that, historically a lot of dictators did early in their careers. So when people, especially people in power, say that is a concern historically. Now, obviously, Elon, I'm hoping, is not going for that. But at the same time, as you can see in this tweet, he says, well, why do you think he got elected in the first place? Talking about Trump, because no one believes you anymore. You lost your credibility a long time ago talking to media. But Elon, to your point, yes, media, even though they don't like Trump overall, right? Yes, they got him elected in many different ways, including showing, his empty podium for an hour sometimes. But the same goes to you. You became popular. You became a celebrity, and Tesla became such a great popular brand because of the media, right? You spend $0 on advertisement and marketing, which is awesome, right? But media helped you out a lot, obviously. And, as part of the media, I guess, I have to say I take an issue with just putting everybody in one a bucket, right? I mean, media is different. There's media, you're right, that's bought by oil companies and automakers, and they will write articles that probably be mainly on their side, but you yourself have your own, media. If there are a lot of actually vloggers and bloggers that you reply to a lot on Twitter here that kind of set a tone to some of your tweets that are bought by Tesla, right? A lot of them, have promoted Tesla for many months and years, and therefore they're getting either free Roadster or free wheels for their Teslas and so forth. And there's nothing wrong with that. But you have to acknowledge that you have your own groupies as well, and that's how the world goes around, right? You have some people here, some here, but a lot of us are actually right here. A lot of us do want to do good reporting. We don't always get it right, but kind of putting us all together and saying we're all liars and cheaters it's disappointing, I have to say. On top of that, your girlfriend's mother, I don't know if you know this, she's a reporter in Vancouver, so that's going to be uncomfortable Thanksgiving for you, I think. So I really, and don't forget that all of this, instead of talking about the original article and a rebuttal that I'm sure you have for it, now we're talking about this. Now the thing is like the crazy CEO Elon Musk and the factory issue, right? No one's talking about the truth, and I'm assuming that you want us and everybody to talk about the truth, because I'm sure there are some numbers and some facts that you can tell us about the article that may be unfair to your treatment of workers. I personally find it hard to believe that somebody like you would actually purposely ignore issues of the workers in your factory. But about a year ago, you acknowledged there are some issues that you were working on it. You, as a matter of fact, appointed a person to oversee that issue. So there's something going on, and I know you're working on it. So yeah, there will be other reports in the media, good and bad, about that. So gotta take it good with the bad. I really, if anything, this is a little disappointing to see my hero really to kind of stoop down to that level, I feel, and do this Twitter tirades relatively regularly. And by the way, I keep saying this over and over again. Now that I've been doing this for a while, now that I've established communications and relationships with pretty much every brand that I've talked to that has an electric car in the market or planning to, I keep saying this again, Elon, you have the worst communication department out there. And I've heard this from other reporters as well. So maybe if you want to have a better relationship with the media in general, maybe hire somebody in your PR and communications department that can be a little bit more, even, dare I say, professional, respectful when they communicate with us and give us a little bit more information and access and respect. That would be a good step, because all of the other manufacturers have, even me, a tiny little YouTuber, have given me a lot of respect and a lot of access and information. I would strongly encourage you to do the same. So, by the way, I'm looking forward to my viewer comments about this because I'm torn. I'm a huge Elon fan and Tesla fan, but on the other hand, I really don't like this. So anyway, let me know what you think, because I got to move on to quite a few things that are going on that are good. I'm surprised that he's talking, he's taking his time to do this. Things are going really good for Tesla. Anyway, before I do that, of course, I want to remind you that this channel and this show is sponsored by Evanex, the aftermarket accessories for Tesla. If you want to shop at that store, including some Model 3 accessories, you can grab a discount code in the description of this video and save yourself a few bucks. All right, so by the way, there's another thing that's going on. The Edmunds had a pretty negative report about Tesla, and I would be interested in Elon maybe addressing some of those issues. Now, and they've been driving their test car for about 4 months, so some of the issues there, I'm curious to see if those are just early production issues that have been fixed, or this is something maybe, he can also get on top of. But just a lot of minor things, and I guess they also had their car in service for a couple of times. So I will be interested in his reply to that. Now, Model Y, while he was doing the whole Twitter thing, he actually mentioned that he's planning on unveiling Model Y sometime between later this year, at the end of the year, and mid-year 2019. So that's about a year to go. I think he picked a date of like March 15th, and he will say that I'm joking, and I'm not joking. By the way, replying to his fan bloggers and vloggers. So looks like we're about a year away from the unveiling. Obviously, by then, there will be 3 or 4 companies with a mass-produced car that is SUV or compact SUV. So they will be a little bit late to the market, but obviously, I'm sure demand will be absolutely huge for that one. And there's good news for semi-truck as well. Semi-truck was spotted by this guy, Paul. I'm sorry I said Twitter. It's actually Instagram. It's his Instagram picture right there with a semi-truck. This is at a Kettleman City Supercharger. I've been there a few times with my Tesla Adventure and Eli, what was about a month ago. So I recognize that location, but Semi was charging there. There were reports of, and there are pictures of, some few different cables going into the truck, but we kind of know that they've been charging from 2 or 3 different stalls. I'm sure they're still working on the whole mega charger plug. So that's been pretty exciting. So I'm listen. There's so many good news. Oh. I forgot one. I forgot one about the Model 3, and this one is a good one because Elon today also said that they are at finally 500 cars, 500 Model 3s per day. So then that makes it 3,500 per month production. So it looks better and better as far as achieving the goal of 5,000 cars by the end of the next month. So it's good news all around, Elon. There's no reason to go after media or just be happy. Be happy. Things have been really, really well. I'm happy for you. So just chill out, man, and just enjoy this amazing ride that you're on and you're taking all of us on. All right, comment of the day. I'm gonna do it probably tomorrow. Just too much. All right, well, I'm gonna leave you with this, and I'm definitely looking forward to your comments. So I don't know what I'm doing, obviously. All right, so that's it. I was just gonna say bye. So I'm saying bye. See you guys tomorrow once again live on Patreon. Other than that, remember to stay charged.